Maybe this will help. Will this help you?
Don't forget the maybe, baby. Don't forget the maybe, baby.
All I'm saying is we need to get in the studio.
Baby.
It's showtime. Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help.
Yeah. So I was gonna start the show right there. It's happening again. Don't see. I knew I needed to test it.
So here we go. Is the relationship over if the marriage proposal is declined? If she said no to the ring, listen.
So I'm saying bye-bye.
No vagina is whack or dry. You just don't turn her on. I'm jugular out the gate, bro. Let's get into this.
Dating someone you can have fun with is really unmatched. That's in my top 3. If I can't have fun with you, I don't even know how this thing gonna work.
Hey, bro, give us the other 2. Fun and what else?
Nah.
All right, no, don't worry. It's all good. What else?
That's why you can't tell your brother stuff in confidence, because they go,
let's normalize bragging about women like this.
Hey, now.
Go back. I feel like she started feeling the beat a little bit.
Are you guys brutally honest with your friends, or do you hold back in order not to hurt their feelings?
The honesty is not the brutal part. The brutal part is how the person perceives your honesty.
If you're dating a narcissist at Christmas, you had better run.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Testing 1 2. It's still bad.
Yeah. So it was just fine though. It was 2 settings that were good. Try the first setting. Whatever you did.
I'm upset. Hold on.
Wait, it's on mute. Hold on.
Hold on.
Go.
How's that sound?
Yeah.
That's cool?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. Let's move forward.
All right, we on.
If anything changes,
we on.
I got a backup plan. I'm gonna call in from my phone or something. We good though.
Man, we made it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help the podcast. Bruh, we've been fighting to get on this show, praying, but you know what? Those days where we couldn't make it, we just embraced whatever God was trying to do that night. If it was a refreshing, if it was time for us to focus on our loved ones or just ourselves. Yeah. I see you, Sasha. She said it's been a while. It has. Here we are tonight, and hopefully everything goes smooth for the next 2 hours, and we can give y'all what y'all been wanting, which is that relationship talk you can relate to, the good, the bad, and the alimony.
Right.
Mike, let's check in so we can get to the show, bro. How you been?
Shoot, are we checking in for the last 3 weeks? Just this past week? Today? Sheesh.
Let's take a few minutes, whatever's on your heart, however you want to check in. That's what we're doing.
Hey man, I'm full. My heart is full today, man. I got invited to witness the graduation ceremony of my brother and his girlfriend, my sister Jax, and it was a beautiful experience. And so when I went, I'm like, let me just go up here for them to support, to basically, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, show them that, you know, I'm here for them, I support them, I love what they're doing, all that stuff. But then the word was good. I'm sitting there looking at Janae like, do we find a church to go to? What's happening right now? What's going on?
For real, really?
What is going? Yes, yeah. So we kind of looked at each other and just smiled. I was like, we'll see. But man, it was a great day, man. I'm happy I was able to be a part of your graduation and your celebration, man. I think that it's so commendable to see people our age still take marriage and the process of marriage and the process of being in a relationship seriously. You know what I mean? Not just I like you, you like me, let's do it. And let's just jump in with no blessing, no covering, no guidance. And I feel like that's why the divorce rate, especially amongst, people our age, is so high, because we just get into stuff based on all of this surface stuff. We don't even really know anything. We don't know any type of spiritual anything about the people that we get into these relationships with, and they end up crumbling. So hats off to you, my brother, for even, having the courage to go through that process. I know it wasn't always easy, just like counseling or therapy is never easy, even if it's just a one-on-one thing. But to do it with your partner, it's not an easy feat. So to go through that and still come out on top, and still with the same mindset of pushing forward in the relationship and that next step is dope, man. So I'm proud of you, brother.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
This is a big deal for me. If you guys are watching, you don't know what he's talking about. This was us today. We did, me and my lady, we did a 6-week-long premarital course called Before I Say I Do. And yeah, man, we after we finished like a few weeks ago, but we had the graduation ceremony at the church that we did it at. We're not members of that church, but this was our first time visiting that church as well. And we were both like, yo, all right, I'll come back. I'll check it out again. I'll see what this is all about. But yeah, man, that is us cheesing hard right there in the middle, man. Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So how was the, without going into personal detail, but how was that experience, going through that premarital counseling? Like, was it easy? Did you find out stuff that you didn't know before you went through it? Was it,
They should change the name of the course to I'm gonna call your bluff. That's all premarital. If you bluffing,
it's gonna come out.
We're about to find out real quick.
Wow.
These 6 weeks and these questions.
Yeah.
Even if you're bluffing and you didn't know you were bluffing.
Yeah.
This has a way of bringing things from the subconscious and the unconscious to the table, so that you can see and your partner can see. Not for y'all to be mad at each other, but for just y'all to see. Because, like we always say, how can two people walk together unless they agree? Oftentimes, we're not having the right conversations to see what it is we need to agree on anyway.
And
so once they provoke you or usher you into these specific conversations, man, I saw stuff about her. She saw stuff about me, stuff that you would normally be like, oh man, this ain't gonna work. But something interesting happens when you have those conversations with God and your partner.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying to you? He has his Holy Spirit that resides in you has a way of bringing about interpretation and translation. Because usually it's our interpretation that comes through our personality filter that causes us to see our partner a certain way. But when you include God in the conversation, I mean, like pray. Before we have like intense conversations, we pray and say, God, translate, settle our hearts and our minds so we can hear and see clearly. When you do it that way, God's able to reveal to you a person's heart. And this goes back to the conversation or debate we always have about it's the tone. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta say it with the right tone, say it in a way your partner can understand it.
Right.
In essence, if you don't see their heart and they don't see yours, there's no tone that can fix that.
It's not.
Right? The tone, biblically speaking, or the tone I heard from God is the tone of grace. Right. And so that's first your stance to understand that I'm going to see and listen to this person through the heart they have that God showed me. But if you don't know that person's heart per the one who made them, then everything you're looking at is at face value. You don't have a deeper understanding. Like, I know this person. It's almost like it allows me to self-regulate. If she says something a certain way, and I can say, well, that's not the heart God showed me. So my interpretation of her tone right now must be off.
Yeah.
Versus me being like, yo, you need to say that to me differently.
Yeah.
Because now that may stop her from being able to fully express herself authentically in a moment because she's so concerned about how I'm going to receive it. And the Holy Spirit comes and just takes a lot of those complications out, man. Because you listening to that person through like, yeah, I know your heart, and I also can relate to the emotion you're living in right now. So we good without this having to go into an argument. We good.
That's dope. And I'm assuming the level of maturity on both sides has to be at a certain place in order to even get through, because I'm sure there's a lot of and I'm saying I'm sure because I'm currently we're currently in couples therapy as well, but I'm sure that some things may come up that may rub the other one the wrong way, but you got to be mature enough to say, hey, this is their truth. They're being honest about the way they feel, and I have to process that and be able to accept that without the blinders of how I feel things should go, or how I feel they should feel about the specific situation. So did you feel like maturity plays a big role, or is it a big factor in the marriage counseling, premarital counseling?
I'm gonna tell you like this: the goal is not to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the goal.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to get in it and see what it shows you.
Yeah.
When their goal is to get through it, they'll start fabricating and telling stories or saying whatever they need to say to get to their end.
Right.
But if your goal is to be authentic there and see what it shows you, you'll bring honesty there, because without honesty, you wasted 6 weeks of your life.
That's good. Yeah. That's good stuff. Since we adjust the cameras, I'm adjusting.
Yeah, man, I got this new little setup, and I don't want it to go to waste here. So
yeah, it's looking good over there, man. It's looking like a professional podcaster right now.
Look at me. Look at me.
Something else.
All right. As long as my mic stays all right, then we're gonna be good tonight.
Oh, but yeah. Listen, you want to check in? That was my check-in. I just did a check-in of the day. Everything else, life is good.
That's really all I want to talk about today. That's all I want to check in with. So I'm good to go.
All right. Continue to stand. Ain't that what Pastor said today?
Stand. Man. Huh? Don't just be like, I'm all right. No, stand.
Yeah, I'm standing.
Stand.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Vicky, what up? Katina, what up? Sasha, what up? So for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, feel free. We're going to be going through some of these videos, some of these memes. We honestly don't know which direction the conversation will go. We kind of let it flow based on where God is leading us, and also based on you guys' comments. So we definitely encourage you guys dropping comments. If you hear something that sparks a chord or even rubs you the wrong way and you disagree with something, we want to hear all of it. You know what I mean? So feel free to drop something in the chat just like that. Good evening. And then we'll put it up and we'll discuss it. Yeah.
What they say, you see something, say something. If you see
100%.
that might rub you the wrong way, say something so that we can have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
All right. So this is how we want to start the conversation tonight. Let's go ahead and tap into this right here. Do you approach relationships hoping they will like you or wondering if you will like them? Do you approach relationships hoping they will like you or wondering if you will like them?
Man,
you want to go first, bro?
Sure, I'll go first. For me, if I had to choose one, because initially I was going to say neither, but if I had to choose one, I think that it would be in hopes that, hey, I hope they like me. And I say that because I'm not going to even approach the relationship if I don't like you. What's the point of even walking up to you? If I've seen something from a distance, or if I've even had a small conversation, I'm like, nope, you're not it. Or even discernment. Sometimes, you don't even have to talk to people. You just get that, whenever I'm even in the same room as you, it's just, so for me, it's more so, I'm going to be my authentic self when I go out here and hope they like me. If they don't, I'm still good either way. But you always want, it's always that feeling of, I hope this person likes me as much as I like them, or just likes me in general.
So my MO is wondering or hoping they'll like me.
Yeah.
And I have to change that. I found myself, with the personality I can have, being so fixated on doing all the things to make sure that they like me, that I never take a moment to realize or see for myself if I think that they're worth all this effort. And so I have to make sure, because we talked about this in our last episode, that we're able to do. What's the difference between pursuing and chasing?
Yeah.
Chasing is when you're doing everything to impress them.
Right.
Pursuing is a mutual pressing towards getting to know each other in a very unique way. And so I think that the pursuits are matched. If the other person's not pursuing, then you might be in danger of chasing. And you'll see that in the dating environment. If it's all around, what you bring to the table, how much money you make, what can you do, where are you taking me? And, and it's not really like, here's why I want to be married. Here's what I'm bringing to the table. Here's what I understand. Here's my vision of marriage. You're just really auditioning. And
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I like what Vicky said. Vicky said, it has always been if they like me. Recently, I feel me changing to do they deserve me. I like how this feels much better. That's a good question. It's a question I feel like,
wow,
we don't. So it for me, it's a twofold question, because sometimes I hear a lot of women saying he doesn't deserve me, and I feel like the culture has said that a man needs to chase you just because you're a woman. You ain't got to really even have nothing going on for yourself, but because you got a vagina, a man should have to chase you. I don't believe that, but I do believe that if you feel like you hold yourself in a high regard, and I'm not just talking about, I look a certain way or I make a certain amount of money. I'm talking about, your ducks are in a row spiritually, mentally, all of that. Then yeah, I do feel like it should be a question. That's for men and women. It should be a question of, do they deserve me? You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of people out here that's faking the funk, right? They talking a good game, and all they really doing is wasting people's time. And that's, like I said, that's men and women. So you'd almost be doing yourself a disservice by not approaching a relationship with that manner of, well, does this person even deserve for me to even, let's talk about friendship, to be my friend? You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to get in any relationship unequally yoked.
That's real, man.
So I like that, Vic.
That takes me back to the conversation we have about you shouldn't be calling everybody friend. Like, there should be some kind of verification process.
Come on.
To see, like, is this person truly doing the things that a friend should do? Because if you're going to occupy that title, then you should also occupy that responsibility. And oftentimes people carry the title, but they're not occupying the responsibility associated with that title. And you can't be mad at them because you're the one that gave them the title. You just forgot to enforce the responsibility.
I agree. And I'll take it one step further. Stop allowing other people to call you their friend. Like, no, who gave you that title?
Yeah.
You can't put that title on me. Like, no, you cool. We know each other, but friends we are not. Because you don't want your name to be associated with nobody else's bullshit. So this person could be out there robbing, stealing, and then somebody, that's my friend, that's my homie, that's my brother, that's my sister. Yeah, no. I'm not associated with that.
Yo, Mike is a cold piece, yo. Mike is a cold piece, but hey, he a cold piece, but he lives a peaceful life.
That's a fact, man. Yeah, definitely drama free.
I heard my cousin today we were celebrating my grandmother's 91st birthday. And
happy birthday, Grandma.
Yeah, she's still dancing too. She got it, bruh. She went and got her driver's license renewed last week. She's 91, passed the written, passed the driving test, and they're gonna give her another year with her license.
I love it. I love it.
She said, I was ready to give it up, but hell, if they're gonna give me another year, I'll take it. But I heard my cousin say something. He said, man, talking about this woman, he said, man, by picking her, you inviting drama into your life. He said, you got these, I heard that and I was thinking to myself, like, if I choose you, have I taken time to consider what comes with you?
That's it. That's it.
We often talk about when we get married and the in-laws that comes with our spouse, but we don't take time to really think about that on a friendship level. What kind of BS, I just really related in-laws to BS. I'm sorry. But what kind of attachments? Because I'm going to choose to be your friend without verifying who the rest of your friends are. So if I'm your friend and that bridge works two ways, who else is coming with you that think they're going to be cool with me because you're my friend? And have you set healthy boundaries with your friends, or do they still pull you into stuff you shouldn't be pulled into? And now that I'm connected to you, I get pulled in as well. Nobody comes alone. They all come with something. Everybody's coming with something and someone. And you should verify what they come with before you just choose them, thinking that it's just going to be them, because it ain't.
It's not, because then you'll get into a situation that I was in just recently, where one of my really close, good friends, hit me up, and I'm gonna share it because I know he wouldn't mind, but hit me up like, hey, I've been trying to hit you up, I've been trying to hang out, I've been trying to get to the gym, I've been trying to do this, and it just seems like, you're just a lot more distant lately. And I could appreciate that, because I knew he had been feeling it, and but I just basically just told him, it's nothing against you personally. I still love you, I still consider you my brother, all this other stuff. But when you and I were friends, well, not were friends, but when you and I were hanging out on a regular basis, we were, our MO was women. Like, women would just a natural. When we go out, we hang out, girls will come up to us. When we go out, we hang up, girls, the topic of discussion was women. All of this stuff was, and now that I'm at a place to where I don't want that to be my life, it's not that I've cut you out, but it's just the relationship has, me and his relationship has, I'll even call it evolved, because I don't want it to sound like anything negative, because it's not a negative. I'm growing, and you're also growing, but in the season that I'm in, I can't grow in the manner of hanging out with you all the time, because I know that could easily trigger me to be set back in a situation that I don't want to be in. And he understood, and you know what I mean. He told me he was happy we had the conversation, and vice versa. But you guys have to just realize that it's important that, like I mentioned that equally yoked thing a second ago, it's important that whatever relationship that you're in is bringing the fruit that you want to see. Not saying that me and his relationship wasn't, but I could see how it couldn't, based on me, not necessarily based on who he is, but just based on me and where I'm at in my life and my vision that I have for my life in the season I'm in now. I don't want or need any distractions.
And the crazy thing about it is that when you can have a mature conversation about that with a person, you recognize that what they were doing isn't wrong. It just doesn't work for what you're doing right now.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? 100%. I think that sometimes, in the immaturity of it all, sometimes people can feel like they're being attacked for their behavior. It's like, no, that just doesn't work for me right now. It's counterproductive to what I'm trying to do, right? It's not that, you hanging out late night is a sin. It's just that they changed my shift, and now I got to be at work at 5 instead of 8.
Right.
So it just doesn't make sense for me to still hang out with you late night. You're not a bad person, and those aren't bad hours. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Let's move on to another one then, brother, man.
Let's do it.
I got a video for y'all tonight. Here we go.
This girl does not cook. She does not clean.
Yes, I do. I do cook and clean. I cook and clean on girlfriend level, not on wife level. Okay, when I'm the wife, I will start doing more. Now I'm girlfriend. What do you want me to do? Cook for you every day when I'm saying you're crazy? That is what it means. I cook and clean on the level at which I am, which is a girlfriend.
girl does not.
One more time, you good?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, because this is always it's an interesting conversation, and maybe by the end of this talk we're about to have about it, maybe I'll get a little bit more clarification. And I say it's interesting because on one side of the spectrum, for me, it's like, okay, do you if you're not doing it now, is it like a magic switch that you're going to flip on the day you say I do and all of a sudden become this person? Or are you telling me you're holding back because I haven't put a ring on your finger? Because honestly, I can understand that. I can understand, as my girlfriend, you may not want to give me everything that, let's just talk about sex in a biblical standpoint. Biblically, we're not supposed to be having sex, right? So I can understand, as my girlfriend, you want to withhold that as something that you save for marriage. Some women may want to save, I'll cook for you once we're married. But then in my other mind, it's like, well, how I even know you can cook? Like are these things that are innately in you, or are you saying you'll become this when we get married?
So this is the thing I want to say about that. She just said not for him. Doesn't mean she doesn't do it. You should be able to see it in her. If you're your dude, you know what I'm saying, and that's your woman, like, what you doing tonight? Oh, I'm cooking. What you doing tonight? Oh, I'm cooking. What you doing? I'm cooking. I'm just not cooking for you every night, but I'm cooking. I have food in my house. Oh, what you doing this weekend? I'm gonna clean house and I'm gonna head out with the girls and we're gonna link up. What you doing this weekend? I'm gonna clean house, you know? So it should be in their life, which helps you to verify that they do cook, they do clean. If they don't cook and they don't clean for themselves, no, there is no switch that automatically will make them do it for you with consistency. They may get into a marriage and they may have to learn how to do it, but don't expect it to be consistent off jump if they don't already have a routine in place.
That's good, man, and I think that's a solid answer. That's a solid answer.
In my relationship, we had the conversation of like, come on, man, like, what does it really mean to be somebody's boyfriend and girlfriend? Like, we made this up, and now we put a commitment to it, and we put expectations to it. But what does it really mean? And what court of law can you hold this to any standard? And what biblical reference can you hold this boyfriend and girlfriend title to any standard? Which say?
No, I'm just saying that also goes for engagement then, right?
I do believe there are some, and I have to look into it, but I do believe there are some biblical, historical biblical guidance for the engagement process, the preparation for marriage. But and even that, like, you don't have to file any paperwork with your government or with your state for an engagement.
Yeah.
But if there's common law because you've been living with them, like, that's it's like it gets so tricky. So her having the conversation, like, okay, so what are we really doing here? Because I had the conversation with her, not because something she did, but because of what I was doing. I have a tendency to romanticize and pretend that I am something that I am not. And when I pretend that I'm your husband in certain environments, I am bringing with me expectations, setting myself up for heartache, because I won't say you owe me that. Nobody owes anybody anything, but that's not even where we are. So that's not even a justifiable expectation unless we come together and agree on it. But for me to just have that as an expectation because I received the title of a boyfriend, which was man-made, doesn't hold enough weight. You and I would have to come together and say, hey, in this commitment, whatever you want to call it that we're in, here's what we are doing. Here's what we should expect from one another. But I think that oftentimes people think, well, now I'm your boyfriend, your girlfriend.
Yeah,
I can tell you how to dress, or I should be expecting you to come over and cook and clean at my house. And again, you didn't communicate that. You know what I'm saying? Right. But now you're trying to enforce your expectation because of the fantasy you had in your mind about this made-up title that man made, and now it's causing issues in your relationship.
I think for me, I'm kind of on the other side, because I think I actually enjoy doing those type of things, but I don't expect anything for you. It's just how I am when I'm in a relationship or now like I'm in this engagement. I naturally want to do what some may think are husbandly things. Like I want to take care of this person. You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily expect you to reciprocate that, because this is just naturally who I am. It's who I've always been, even in previous relationships. So I think, like you, just agreeing with what you said, I think the problem comes in when I start to expect her to do the same things that I'm doing just because I'm doing them.
And that,
like you said, you playing yourself at that point.
That's where I had to check myself, because like, well, why are we not both playing house? First of all, who told you to play house in the? You about to break your own heart.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying to you, and try to blame somebody else because you didn't show up this way. I am your boyfriend. I am your girlfriend. Like, what do you? And you know, even when I said, I said, babe, I'm gonna call you my love interest, because I'm just trying to find something that's more appropriate to understanding what it is I truly am, to remind myself that there is no pre-husband. So there's no husband junior. There is just you're either, like they say, either you're single or you're married, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. In a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, should people even have any expectations other than what we talked about amongst the two of us? Anything outside of what we both agreed to, we shouldn't even expect it.
Yeah, because it's such a fluid term. My lady told me, she said, no expectations, no agenda. That's what she brings us back to often. No expectations, no agenda. And so that holds space for us to really, to see what we're in. Because the reason there's so many parameters around marriage is because, especially for Christians, because God hates divorce. And so you have a very more strict form of accountability that you have to walk in. But in the boyfriend and girlfriend, there's not that. You're really just saying, I'm exclusively dating you with the hope to see if we can do life together, absent a covenant, a covering, and an anointing or something like that. So that's what you're really saying. So if you guys don't work out, nobody's upset, except for maybe y'all two. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. It's like you said, man. It's a conversation you and that person should have, and whatever you guys agree upon, you know what I'm saying, with God, then I think that will work.
Yeah, that's a fact.
What Vicky say? As an unmarried wife.
What, brother? The woman is saying she's wife material. She's a wife. She just
okay.
I knew that was gonna throw you, because it threw me at first.
As an unmarried wife, I'm a wifeless husband. I'm just working with it. As an unmarried wife, I got to talk about this at some point. There are some things my boyfriends. How many?
No.
Is this polygamy? What are we talking about now? Now I'm really confused. I know. Vicky's like, it's significant other. There we go. Okay. We just crashed. Crashed. As an unmarried wife with multiple boyfriends and significant others, because that's who I am. Okay, but having the demands, expectations without a conversation is an entire problem. I agree. Yeah, Carrie, don't jump in here like you knew that meant significant.
Because she went ahead and Googled it real quick. Hey Siri, what does SO mean?
Google didn't know either. Okay. She's just agreeing with you though. Absent the conversation, it's an entire problem.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this, Mike. Let's do this, man. We kind of just flowing. We're gonna see where we land today.
Do you date someone who's plus size?
Who's fat?
Yeah.
No, I don't like that. Not trying to be rude, but me personally, I don't like fat girls.
You know, why? I just don't want to come home to a fat.
So
Mike sent that video in. Wow, that was.
And I sent it in on purpose for a shock value video. So I'll say this, and then you can tell me what you think, and I may get some flack from the audience, but I don't give a shit. So I feel like Dub right now. So the only thing, the only thing that I feel that was disrespectful, right? That he did or said was saying the word bitch. That's it.
Okay.
She came in saying, "Would you date a plus size woman?" My man was trying to be clear. Oh, you mean fat? Like, what is plus size? Fat? Are you talking about fat? And then he continued, and then she said why, and he continued to answer, because I don't like fat women, and I feel like that's his prerogative. I feel like same thing if he would have said skinny girls, same thing if he would have said girls with abs, or same thing he would have said with any of that. That's his prerogative. I don't think it's anything necessarily wrong with what he said. The only thing I think is wrong was the delivery.
It's interesting how many people out there are probably dating who is more politically correct versus who they truly want and like.
Yeah, bro.
Because they don't want to, like, and this shows up even in certain cultures where they don't want you to date outside your race.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But but your heart is in some other place, and you don't even pursue that because you know what? I want to listen to this one more time.
Do you date someone who's plus size?
Who's fat?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't like that. Not trying to be rude, but me personally, I don't like fat girls. You know,
Why?
I just don't want to come home to a fat.
So he came back. He came back and said fat girls, right? Like, so he took that out, but he said it again.
He said not to be rude. He said, but for me personally,
I think if you ask a question, if you're in public asking a question, you understand that some people are going to say no.
Got to be prepared for it.
Now, let me talk about me personally.
Hey, man.
I have been known to be a chubby chaser in my day.
Hey, nothing wrong with it.
Oh man, it's something right with it. Honestly,
come on, talk about it a little bit.
Listen, because I don't know who came up with the parameters by which a person is considered plus size or fat, but just because you see that as fat, what did Chris Tucker say? PHAT, pretty hot and tempting.
Pretty hot and tempting.
I think that yeah, I think that, man, that like we go to the doctor before and they told us that we were morbidly obese. You know what I'm saying to you? So what? Hey, you know what? Let me ask in the audience: at what number is plus size start? Is that like 11 or 13? At what number are you considered plus size?
Well, Jay said 12.
12 is considered plus size.
Man, listen, and we say this all the time on the show. If you're healthy, meaning you're healthy, you don't have like high cholesterol or some type of disease that comes from being overweight, and you can get out there and we can walk, and I don't have to worry about you, like your health, I'm good. My thing is I just want somebody that's healthy, that I can spend, like if I'm saying I want to marry you, I want to be with you, I want to be with you for as long as I live. I don't want you to pass prematurely because of weight-related issues. But even then, it's not going to stop me from being with you. We just may have to work on some stuff together.
Such an interesting topic.
It is.
It's such an interesting topic because most of those weight issues, most of those health issues can also be with someone who's underweight or average weight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying to you? It's interesting. So she'll say like, 12, you know what I'm saying, 14 and 16. Carrie, like we don't know. We don't know who's making the standard. Listen, beauty comes in all kind of shapes and sizes, and so I'm pretty sure that young man met a fat girl after that who blew his mind, and now he's testifying on the other side of the fence.
He probably tried to take her home after they cut that camera.
Oh,
like, you know she's kidding, right?
It's almost like, I don't know, man. It's almost like, would you date an ugly girl? That's what it sounds like to me, because it's like, how are you defining ugly? What is you saying? She's not, again, go back to my phrase, she's just not trending right now? Is she not within the acceptable weight limit that people say is nice looking or healthy? Yeah.
Have you ever dated a girl? Never mind. I don't even know if it's appropriate for this show. It is.
Okay.
Have you ever dated a girl that you didn't go out with, but as like take her out?
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I know where you're going. That you were embarrassed to take her out in public, but you liked her in private?
Yeah. In your former years, in your former years. You like touching that one. That nigga shook his head.
Oh no.
No.
I will say this. I have taken one for the team. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And I have one in particular that I think about that I took one for the team. That.
What does that mean? Everybody don't know what take one for the team means, Donovan.
Take one for the team means when you and your boys go out, let's say 3 or 4, and you meet a ladies, 3 or 4 of them, and your boy got his eye on one in particular, and the way that the meshing happens, because it was almost like you were the last one to say, not it. You get left with the most unattractive friend. And so you're taking one for the team, because if you don't participate, then it won't be a 4-on-4, and now all of them, they just might go home and go do their own thing. But if you take one for the team, everybody has a partner. You all can enjoy the night together, at least most of y'all. There was one situation where she was, not the best looking, but when I tell you I had fun with her, so I thought I was taking one for the team, but it actually ended up being, I had a really, really good time. Just because you wouldn't sleep with someone doesn't mean you can't have a good time with them.
Yeah, buddy.
Although I have taken one for the team in that regard too, but that's a different topic. But
yeah.
Wow, hold on, we didn't already left the conversation. Ken said, if you wear lingerie size 20 or more, that's not a teddy, that's a grizzly.
KD, man.
Listen, I don't see nothing wrong with a little plus size.
Okay. I see what you did there.
What?
I see what you did there.
Ooh, hold on, Sasha. I need to hear more about this. Sasha says, I went through almost 13 years of that from my man. I was always kept in secret or hidden, and it was a pain in the ass. Sasha, do tell. Did you guys have conversations about it? Well, how did he justify it? And why did it go on for so long? Lakeisha, that's true. You can't judge a book by its cover. Like, for real though, man, when your mind, you can't judge a book by its cover. Let's talk about it, Mike.
Okay. The cover is the first thing you see. So if I see, a person and they whatever my eye finds attractive, they're the opposite of that, or they smell, or they clothes are ripped up, dirty, whatever the case may be. For me, it would take God to say, "Hey, I want you to go talk to that person."
So you're saying the cover is the first impression?
Yeah. And it could be maybe she just came from work, and maybe she worked somewhere that's why she's dirty, or whatever the case may be. I could be missing out. However, it's a miss out I may have to be willing to take.
Or like they said back when you were in grade school, it could be your upper lip.
Could be. We never know. That's the thing. You just never know.
So I think this though, judgment means that you've acquired or collected enough data to form a judgment. So judging a book by its cover alone, I don't feel like that you have enough information to make a judgment or draw a conclusion.
But that's for but again, that's for me, right? So if I feel in my mind I have enough data that I've collected from standing 10 feet away to say, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and walk past that.
So you're saying that you can judge a book by its cover?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Or are you saying you should?
No, I'm not saying you should.
Okay.
I'm not saying you should.
How do you know when you should judge a book by its cover? I'll say it like this while you're thinking about it. I think there are interactive red flags that we notice when we're interacting with people. And then I think there are some red flags we see before we interact with people. And if you see any of those red flags, then you go ahead and you judge that book by its cover because what?
So the cover can't be a red flag? If it's something you know you don't like in a woman.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. So if there some things you have to interact with a person, some red flags you have to interact with them to experience and say, yo, that's a red flag. Yeah. Some things you can immediately see. I have a homegirl who will not date a man who sags his pants. She's in her 30s. Why are you sagging your pants in your 30s? That's the cover. I'm judging. You're sagging. And that's a no for me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to interact with you. This first impression is all I needed to see.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, hold on. Bastine said Don said he had a great time with her. So that means he looked at her and thought, oh no, but ended up having a great time. I said, oh no, to the original plan for why we went out that night, which was for the cut up, right? But we had a different kind of oh yes.
Hey.
So she didn't fit the bill for the original plan, but the backup plan wasn't so bad at all. I didn't.
And was that and then was the good time out of default? Like, I'm here, she here, might as well at least talk and try to salvage the night somehow, and then that's how it happened.
Yeah, because I was really just doing it for the homie.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the cover was judged. You just took one for the team.
There it is. That's like, so a perfect example of just taking one for the team because you're looking out for the team is when Jay invited you to that stupid movie for your first date. And you decide
terrible, nigga. She said she over talking about he wasn't taking one for the team, he was taking one for himself.
Team me.
Touche. Because I definitely sat there and smiled and giggled at the movie.
Did you look at her more than you actually looked at the movie?
100%.
Yeah.
We did. I think we had a good time because it was us. Yeah.
We ain't gonna go no deeper into that conversation.
Nope.
There's a guy that says he's interested in getting to know me. I see that he shares on social media. I will
see
not.
What he shares.
Huh? Oh, I see what he shares on social media. I will not be going out with him. Wow, that cover shows me what he's into, and we don't. Interesting. Vicky, we got to have this conversation. Whoo, I don't know how far.
Let's go. Vicky's a good sport. Let's go.
I just took this one personally because I know that some people have gone on my social media and they'll jump in my DM that you okay, man? What's going on? I'm just so sorry to see what you're. And it's like what I'm posting is not about me.
Yeah.
It's just stuff that be on my mind or stuff that my clients have said to me. Allison said, read it again. Okay. There's a guy that says he's interested in getting to know me. I see what he shares on social media. I will not be going out with him. That cover shows me what he's into and we don't mesh. And so I know that there is this sense of if you think it's even worthy of being on your page, somehow you want to be associated with it. And so, Vicky, I'm asking, is it that bad what he's posting that there is no explanation for it being on his page and being associated with his person? There's no way he can tell you, oh, that ain't really part of my core foundation of who I am. like the fact that he even finds that entertaining or worth sharing on his social media, that's a no-go for you. That's what I'm asking. Whew.
Lakeisha, cover had tattoos on the face.
That's a no-go. I mean,
tattoos.
What does that mean, though? So if you're gonna say that tattoos on the face is a no-go, you have to say why. What does that? What do you think that means? Like with my homegirl who don't date guys who sag their pants. So if he does sag his pants, what message is that translating to you? What do you believe? What do you believe that says about who he is and how he's going to treat you? Jay is like, what part of the face? Because it could be sexy.
She's saying that because I got tattoos on my face.
Where you got tattoos out on your face, Mike?
Right here behind my beard. On this side right here, and on this side right here.
Ain't that something?
It's weird. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Huh.
I think it has to do with preference. Just like I've been. It's so funny. A chick was trying to
Ooh.
What we got?
So she said low self-esteem is what that message is to her. I agree. She said that's ear, not face.
No, my ear's back here. My face. This is the stuff. My beard is on my face. It's right by my beard. Ears back here. My face is. But no,
okay. So answer her first, and then Vicky has responded too.
She didn't ask no question.
No. Oh, what are we talking about?
No, Janae said what part of the face?
No. She did. She said low self-esteem. It wasn't a question. It was a comment. So you're saying that face tattoos message to you low self-esteem? And while she's answering that, Vicky came back and said sharing videos of ratchet people fighting. Him hyping up situations that I wouldn't put myself in. That's because y'all got different senses of humor. A different sense of humor.
Or different values.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I've seen so many people that I thought I had pegged be different than how I pegged them.
Yeah.
But I can't give everybody a shot. So even with judging a book by its cover, because we do it, even when we don't want to do it, we know that we're gonna miss some. There's this show.
Lakeisha on.
Wow.
He ghetto. Get out of there, girl. He ghetto. I think it's ghetto.
Jeez. It's a hard knock life out there. So I've been watching this show. It's called Naked Attraction. And so the idea of the show is to get past the costume people try to hide behind in the dating game. So what they do is they bring one person on the show and they have, I think, 6 contestants who are behind these pillars. And every round of the show, like they reveal more and more of the person's body. The person's naked back there. So they reveal half the body. They reveal up to the neck. Then they reveal the face. And then they reveal the voice. And every round, the person has to delete or get rid of one person based on just physically they're seeing, right? And so they pick the people according, like they interview the person who's coming on the show, like, what is it that you like about a person, like physically? And they find someone that, they find people that has at least one of those attributes. And so they're eliminating people the whole, they got 1-2 elimination round before they even see the face. And then they have 3 elimination rounds before they even hear the voice, right? And so they're like, the whole idea of it, they said whoever they choose, they go on a date and they're fully dressed. Look, like Bastang says, she's seen that show. It is, for me, who was a studier of human behavior, it is interesting. I've seen so many people at the halfway mark make a decision, and when they say, I don't want this person, I don't want green, I'm good on green, they reveal the whole green, the person comes out and says bye, and I've seen some people be like, yo, I blew it. I blew it because whatever I wasn't feeling on that first half, the face sure enough made up for it. And the voice sure enough made up for it. And so I say this just to say that judging a book by its cover, it's a tricky game, man.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
Game.
Yeah.
Vicky got back on and said different values. I wouldn't run to film a fight. He has posted it. Lakeisha is right. I can't get with that kind of. Wait a minute. So he's not reposting these fights. He's out like the storm chasers. He's out there as a fight chaser. He's out there Chasing the ghetto. What?
The ghetto.
All right. Ah, man. Yo, that's real talk though. Like he says, that's the judgment game.
Yeah, for sure. You just got to be prepared for whatever that outcome may be.
Yeah, don't be mad when you see them later and you're like, dang, I didn't know you was just going through something that day. You really is the perfect person for me.
Right.
Wait a minute. I would have to see his backside first. They do make the contestants turn around. Weird women in their fascination with men's butts, man.
Wow.
That's just all right. All right, so let's go into this, man. We're at halftime. Should we do our little halftime thing? Yeah, let's go ahead and share because we need some Fundarellis.
Yeah, we can go with that. Take it away, Donovan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Clearly we might need some help on the financial side because we're having some technical difficulties working around that. But we always like to give you guys an opportunity without begging. It's more of a demand. Go to our Cash App. And,
do it now.
It's Cash App. What are you waiting for? $, maybe this will help. We are accepting donations of any amount. If you don't have Cash App, you should get it. Make life easier for us. I mean, if you don't have Cash App, you can email us at maybethiswillhelp.podcast@gmail.com so we can do, Venmo and PayPal and Zelle and all the rest of those. But anything you can contribute to keeping us online, keeping our technology up to date. If you enjoy this content and these conversations, you're a part of this community. So just help out wherever you can. If it's not monetarily, then just repost the page. Repost us while we're live so other people can get this content. This is just our contribution back to our generation. We don't have it where people can pay to render commercials on our videos and stuff like that, just for money. We just two guys having conversations with an audience that we would have alone, that we do have alone. Carrie put this together a few years ago and it has helped. It's been a big help. So thank you guys for all that you've done. Screenshot this, send it to your friends and say, don't ask no questions, just send money. Yeah. All right. They're wilding out in the chat.
Man, I'm saying Lakeisha, like, we need you to show up on time from now on because when you show up late, rare form.
Maybe I should have said forehead tattoo. I have lots of tattoos too, but I see a face full.
It's the one right above it. It's the one right above her comment, right above that one.
Who said he probably trying to get his studio money together. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
God,
all right, man. Sheesh. All right, and before we move on, if you are an entrepreneur in the fashion world, and you're trying to get your fashion out there, children, men's or women, this is a model you can contact. I am Michael David. He is a model that can showcase any kind of clothing. Looks good on him. I'm trying to become his manager at this point. I am Michael David. Get on there, see what he does. He comes with his own social media personnel who make sure all his videos get made and pictures and photos and transitions, all that pretty stuff. He's sleeping with the help. Don't worry about that though. That just makes him even more valuable. If you're looking for a model, if you know someone who has a clothing line, a men's clothing line, and looking for models, Michael is 6'6", 296 pounds. He owns around 60 guns, and he has one eye is green, one eye is brown, and his teeth are white. And he's just a nice guy. Nice guy. A few too many veins in his forehead, but besides that, and 2 face tattoos. If you can look past that, then I think you'll be okay. Just choose Michael. That's gonna change your Instagram name.
Just choose Michael. Golly. Hey, brother, sheesh. Yeah, thank you for that. Whatever that was, thank you.
Yo, dude, when you came to the church today, one of the guys who was in the course with me, he said, man, all your people just got this fashion sense. Like, because Carrie came in with the 2 piece, with the slacks and the vest, with the shirt, with the glasses. And you came in, Jago Bell was like, is he going to Big Bear? This brother, like, yeah, he brother came in like, are you preaching today? Carrie, like he was preaching that day. You came in like he was a celebrity guest in the building, like, and then like Jay and Monique was there, and I'm like just Why is everybody so pretty and nicely dressed? Like they were looking at my people like, yo, that's
this is how we roll, brother. You know what it is.
That's how we roll, man. All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, let's roll into the second half of this show, man. What we've got in the chat. Oh, remember, it's halftime, so if you can jump in the chat, put your favorite part of the show so far, tag somebody who could benefit from hearing the show, or tag somebody who might help us to benefit, that might have some good insight to add. I'm not going to add that part, Jay. I'll let you add that part. And he's fine AF. Don't forget that. Yeah. Look. Cheese, nigga. All right, here we go.
3 weeks, you know if you like them. 3 months, you know if you love them. And 3 years, you know if you want to spend the rest of your life with them. At least by then. You could know it earlier.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I think so. Yeah. I think 3 years pivotal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're like not in the honeymoon phase anymore.
Yeah.
You know this person well. And then you're like, is this my person?
Yeah.
Or not? Yeah.
Everything in threes.
Everything in threes. 3 weeks.
Wow. Go do just the first part of the time frames one more time.
3 weeks, you know if you like them. 3 months, you know if you love them. And 3 years, you know if you want to spend the rest of your life with them. At least by.
Yep.
You with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with that. I'm gonna roll with that. I think the 3 years is a little bit longer than it was for me with Janae. I feel like I pretty much knew fairly quickly that I was done for. Yeah, those other threes, the 3 weeks and the 3 months. Yeah. In fact, it's funny because we talk about that all the time, how the time schedule, the time frame in which we realize what our feelings were, even though we may have not even vocalized it. But it's just something that we knew.
Ask Jay when she knew.
When did you know? When did she know what exactly?
When did she know she's ready to spend the rest of her life with you?
Probably.
Come on, man, you making me look bad. Hurry up. 3 or 4 months.
What was it? Is there anything significant or anything in particular that you saw that said, "Yep, that's what I was waiting to see"?
What you see, girl? How I carried myself? How I was as a father? Not how I treated you?
Oh yeah, of course that too. But I mean, aside of that was.
Well, you got her over there sweating.
Man, bro, stuttering and everything.
Text me your real answer. Once I realized which way.
And she said how I treated my mother. That's pretty good. That's the first time I heard that. Yeah.
If she didn't cut her hair or lose weight,
she was waiting to see which direction you wiped. That's good, man.
That's good. Yeah.
Hmm.
Have you had any of those thoughts, or do you mind me asking you if you as far as the relationship you're in now?
All right. So now I've been listening to y'all. Let me do this one more time just to get that countdown.
3 weeks, you know if you like them. 3 months, you know if you love them. And 3 years, you know if you want to spend the rest of your life.
All right. So I would say like them, love them, spend the rest of your life with them. It really depends on how much face time you get with them, or how much experience you have with them within those first 3 weeks. The lady I'm with now, when did I know I liked her? Man, I felt like I liked her based off the video I saw her before I met her. But again, I liked my idea of her.
And that's funny because that's what you told me when we were in Hermosa Beach about this video, and you liked the girl. And in my mind, I'm like, how you like her? It's a video.
Yeah. I liked and we said this on the show before. I liked the idea. that I created in my head about her,
Right.
which can be very dangerous. You got to watch out for that.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I think that when did I know that I loved her? You know, I think it was around the 3-month mark because I told her that it wasn't anything that she did. It was certain things that I was doing, I started to do that I caught myself doing that made me be like, yo, dude, you are into her. I told her that my body told me, like my behavior told me, like what I was doing told me because it was activated by her. Like I wouldn't normally be doing. It's almost like, you get around certain things, you break out in the hive, right? Because your body has a certain reaction to it. To her, there were certain responsibilities I just innately wanted to pick up. There was a certain way that I wanted to care for her. There were certain things that I didn't no longer wanted to entertain with other women. It's like it was a reaction. And so I was like, oh, you must be in love because of what you're doing absent real intention. And then once I put the intention on there, then of course, it can grow into something. But
Right.
yeah, that's what I'll sit with that one.
Let's ask the audience. Audience, are you in agreement with the 333, or would you guys change some numbers around, or is 333 pretty solid as far as when you got your no?
Because 3 years to know if you want to spend the rest of your life with a person, I think that's what some people, because you go from 3 weeks to 3 months to 3 years. That's a pretty that's a pretty big jump. Some people ain't with it being in a relationship for 3 years, but sometimes if that's what's needed, why not?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, I like this right here. Lakeisha said, when you want to see them again and again and again, like a little addiction, you want more togetherness. Yeah. Okay, so what does that mean? What are you saying? That's the like you, love you, or want to spend the rest of my life with you, Lakeisha? Let's look at what your best friend Pookie has to say. Hell is hell. 1 week, I'll know if I like you. How many times you have to talk to them though, Pookie? Like, what is it? One conversation, you good to go?
I think
special discernment.
I think also people sometimes because they don't say it out loud, or because they feel like this is too soon, that 3-year rule kind of comes into play. But I feel like if you really do some digging and some soul searching and really be honest with yourself, sometimes I feel like you'll realize, like, oh, nah, I was having these feelings way before 3 years. I just didn't want to acknowledge those feelings, because whether I thought it was too soon or whether I wasn't sure if they felt the same way. So I'm going to try to hold these feelings back. But I think for us, it was one of those things where, listen, this is how I feel. So I'm gonna just let you know, and whether you feel this way or not, I still love you. So it is.
I was having a conversation with one of my friends about this, and they were saying how, when you're getting to know somebody, you don't want to be out of pocket, and so you try to, like, I don't want to say too much too soon. And other persons, I don't want to say too much too soon. I like, this is why some people are so frustrated with the dating environment, because people are saying, I want to get to know you, and intentionally keeping themselves from the vulnerability.
Woo.
Like, you're saying you want to get to know this person, but intentionally not letting this person get to know you, how you really feel, because you feel like it's either inappropriate or it's not traditional or it's out of pocket. Like, don't you know that everybody's looking for somebody out of pocket? They're tired of seeing the same hidden person.
Yeah.
You see a lot of potential in people, but they're scared to tell you they like you. They're scared to tell you, I want to see you again. They're scared to tell you, hey, it may not be appropriate, but I would like to kiss you tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because there's so many fears around it. What about the person that comes out and they're just like, you're looking like for somebody to break that mold and be like, yo, I'm totally into you. Spending 10 minutes to date. But my idea is, why don't you be that person?
Yeah.
Because you're scared to get embarrassed, scared to get rejected. Everybody who's scared to get embarrassed and scared to get rejected isn't ready for relationships. It's a big statement, but you're not ready for what comes with it. If that kind of fear can run your behavior and run you biologically, then you might not be ready for what demands and what kind of confrontations you're going to face in the process of getting to know somebody.
Yeah, man. I feel like falling in love should be exactly what the title is. Falling in love should be a free fall. There's no fear of rejection. There's no fear of, oh, what if they don't? You're falling. Like, I'm just jumping off this cliff in love. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how it should be approached. I don't care if she feels the same way. I'm telling you how I feel. This is how I feel about you.
Let me ask a question, bro. We talked about this idea, just that falling thing. Have you ever watched HGTV?
Yeah.
Do you ever seen a couple step into like just the front door of the house, the foyer, and they walk back out like, no, this house is not for me?
Yep.
I've always wondered, like, again, judging a book by its cover, how do you know? You didn't even explore or try in it. But again, those red flags that they saw, like, I don't like how this looks, and I couldn't remodel it to look a certain way. I feel like the same thing goes when you're dating somebody. Did you truly date them?
Yeah.
Did you truly explore? Like, it's already a whole process you got to go through before you give somebody a number and even arrange a meetup. But if when you get there, like, really date them, like, let them see you, so that when you leave that space, you didn't leave anything, you didn't withhold anything. Now you're back in your head trying to assess your assumptions versus assessing the data that they gave you based on the questions and authentic interactions you gave them.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And to be clear for the audience, we're not. Well, you correct me if I'm wrong, Donnie. You're not talking about ignoring your non-negotiables to do this.
No.
Yeah.
No, those override the system.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause if you go on a first date and somebody shows up drunk and they smell like alcohol, it's perfectly okay for you to end that exploration right there.
You don't have to try to understand it, or
no, you don't.
Sheesh.
Yeah. All right, I got something.
Wait. I got a question. Lakeisha said men can do that, Mike, but women shouldn't. And I'm assuming, Keisha, you're talking about the free for all of falling in love. Is that what you're talking about? That men can, but women shouldn't. And if that is what you're talking about, why is that?
You looking at that second comment? She said yes.
Yeah. So why is it that you feel like women shouldn't be open to that free fall aspect of just falling in love? And I'm not talking about like on a first date. I'm talking about, you know. Hey man,
that's not true.
At all. What? Sheesh.
Yeah. Should we? We're not. Are we gonna? Nope. Okay. Huh?
And I walk right into it though. That's the thing. I'm usually better at gauging. Golly. All right, you got me.
All right. So I'm gonna change the tone a little bit, man. Check this out.
If she didn't cut her hair or lose weight after y'all broke up, she never really loved you, Papa.
One more time.
No.
If she didn't.
One more time. Okay.
If she didn't cut her hair or lose weight after y'all broke up, she never really loved you, Papa.
What you think about that, Mike?
I think it's hilarious because that is usually the go-to. You know, they getting their body back in shape. I gotta cut my hair because it's a new me. F that nigga. Let me get in this gym, get these abs together, get these squats. Yeah, I mean, I get it. The video is a fun fact.
So the one guy said that she lost weight and cut her hair because she wanted to get rid of the kind of woman that would let a man like me go. We say anything to make ourselves feel better. So
yeah. Okay, guy.
Okay, guy.
Right.
I mean, but yeah, I just thought that was a good little comic relief. But how many of y'all have done that, ladies? Have done the makeover after the breakup? And please, if it's not breaking girl code, tell us why that is such a big thing that you guys do. Why is that such a normal thing?
What do we do? What do we do when we're hurt after a breakup. Like,
have a lot of sex.
That's funny. That's exactly what she just said.
Oh, that's what Jay said?
Yeah, not in those exact words, but exactly what she just said. Huh. But is it anything that we do like behind closed doors? Yeah, we do cry.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Is there anything that comes to your mind?
So for me, it was just getting back on the dating scene very quickly, not really dealing with the breakup or just trying to put a Band-Aid on that wound before it bled over.
Did you know that's what you were doing though?
No, in my mind, I'm over it. Fuck her then. I'm out here. I'm still, you know what I mean? In my mind, I'm just bouncing back, getting back on the scene.
All right, so we got one. We got one on the hook. So Allie said, cut hair? No, that is sacred for me. Lose weight? Yes, I did it for me though, to regain my confidence for the dating scene. Question though.
Here we go.
At what point did you lose your confidence? And I'm asking this, Allie, because I know you know how to, communicate this well to the audience, because I've seen a lot of people get into the relationships and let themselves go. And that was not because the other person told them to. That is a choice that they made. So now that didn't work out, I got to get myself back in shape to fool the next person, to make them think that this is how I am. But I'm really only doing this to catch you. And once I catch you, I'm going to let myself go again.
Because even what you just said raises the question of how did we get out of shape to begin with? Because clearly you thought it was a problem because as soon as he left,
wow,
you had to go fix it. So why you didn't fix it while you was in the relationship?
Because somebody accepted me flaws and all, but accepting you flaws and all doesn't mean that you start to accentuate those flaws.
That is a good way of saying that. Wow. Well, that was good. That was clever.
You love me because I'm irresponsible, so I'm about to be more irresponsible because this nigga loves me. Like that is not it's not the move, man.
Okay, she answered. Ali said, so when he cheated on me repeatedly, and I internalized that as though I wasn't good enough, so I allowed the stress to cause me to gain the weight.
So what caused the stress though? We can go down if you want to go down this rabbit hole. What caused?
Because I have so many questions.
Because Mike, that I guess statistically speaking, women don't stay in relationships for the same reason that men stay. Tolerances are very different.
Yeah.
What we will tolerate versus what women will tolerate is a whole different spectrum. So
agreed.
While she's responding to that, Miss Ashley said, I cut my hair into a mohawk when I was in cosmetology school because my ex liked my long hair. Ha! Ha!
I'm gonna get this nigga who I'm not with no more. I'm gonna teach him.
I
get it though. I get it though. We do some. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Not even mad.
Like Jay said, Jay loves that Mike is tall. If they ever break up, he's gonna sit down for the rest of his life. Won't see me tall again.
Or I'm gonna go date me a short man. I'll teach him.
Wow. Short king. Just be respectful.
Jesus.
Short kings and unicorn women.
Right. Yep.
Letitia said, getting too comfortable will allow you to stop worrying about you and start focusing on him. Usually we cook more for him, so that makes us eat more. What are you cooking though? We just got a response for everything, don't we? We just
I know these women like, this nigga got shit.
I'm sorry. And the question was so quick too. I didn't really digest your response. I'm sorry. That wasn't active. Even though I was listening to myself read your comment. He cheated with women that were trashy. So I was stressing out thinking I was not worthy, and then my behavior followed that. Woo! Yeah. I heard that one quote one time. Said when people cheat, it says more about what they think about them versus what they think about you. You know, and I think that's why is sometimes understanding it from that standpoint, a lot of relationships can get past the cheating. They can get through that because they're not trying to get through it while trying to get through it was a personal attack on them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to relinquish it wasn't a personal attack on me and it says something about me and just say my partner, you know, is having a struggle with something internal, then it does. If you cut out for that, it allows you to partner with them, you know, in a way that only you can. And I've seen marriages and stuff, they get past that and it can. I don't think necessarily that needs to be a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you start to understand some of the psychology behind disloyalty, right? And so yeah, you know, instead of taking everything so personal, you know, some people go look back like, man, we really could have worked through that. There was nothing you can't work through until you choose not to work through it.
That's it.
And it's almost like I was telling you about these conversations that the premarital courses made us have. It's like I didn't want to have them, and we were kind of like leery about having them. But every hard conversation we had actually brought us closer because I never had to go through that with someone. And now you become even more rare and valuable to me because we share something. We share an experience I've never had with another person, and we actually came through it with a better understanding. So now you understand me in a way that nobody else does. I can't let you go. Not after that. Not after what we just worked through. Like now the value increased. Not saying that you're creating situations to be in those situations, but when you can make the most of them, you might find yourself with a person like you might have just created an opportunity for you to see that person in a way you never seen them before, which increases their value in your eyes. And now behavior, you know, resembles that in some way.
That's facts, dude.
You know what? While we're talking about this breakup and divorce, all that kind of stuff, let's do this real quick, Mike. Tell me what you think about this video right here.
I had different people in my ear at that time. I would not have made that decision. No, I wouldn't. And that's the truth. I try my very best at this point in my life to be what I didn't have in that moment. Because I think that I was, women were like, I'm an extremely emotional person. People that know me know that about me. I'm the kind of person that like, okay, I feel so strong, and I can ruminate. I can get so lost in my thoughts. I know a lot of women are like that. Like we're a lot, not all of us, right? But some of us are. Just like a lot of men can be like that. But I know women specifically, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I can't stand this. He don't do this. He don't do that. Blah, 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 blah. And we're just focusing on these things. And because you don't have a certain person in your life to check you and say, I had you and say, sis, what about this? What about this? What about these strengths? What about what he's not doing? What, like those types of things. That can get you thinking about the positive aspects of this person that you may not be thinking about when you're upset. You're only thinking about what you're mad about. You're not thinking about all the other positive aspects of this person. And so in those moments, you need somebody to be the person for that person.
Yeah.
In those moments, you and say.
So I'm gonna say this. Like that's all nice and cute to say. She didn't have these people, the right people in her ear to tell her this, and that. But at the end of the day, people only know what you tell them. So if you telling these people all this negative stuff, how it's gonna be anybody to be in your ear to say, no, but he's a good person, or don't forget that he did this, did. You can't just tell your personal business to everybody and think that they're gonna give you the sound advice that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like you should have a Cheerio full of people that say, these are my confidants. Outside of these people, ain't nobody gonna know my deepest, darkest type of things. You know what I mean?
Emergency contact list.
Your emergency contact list, because what'll end up happening is you'll be in her situation, because I'm not saying I know, but it just sounds like, because by her saying she didn't have anybody in her ear, you've been talking to the wrong people. The people you was talking to wasn't on your, or maybe you didn't even have an emergency contact list. Maybe you just thought, this is my sister. I know she has my best interest, so I'm gonna just go with that. And again, what are you telling these people? Is the only time you talk about your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend is when you guys get into an argument or when you get mad? Then of course, drop that nigga. Because that's all I know about him. That's why I can appreciate the times that me and Jay have have gone through things. I've never questioned her going or ever told her not to go tell her person, her people about the situation for guidance or for even just for venting, because not because necessarily I know them, but I know the type of woman that Janae is. And I know she's not gonna have nobody in her life that's gonna be one-sided or you my girl, so F him type of situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you feel about this comment right here? Akeisha said, I saw the video. She dumb AF. Your mistakes can't be blamed on someone else.
Exactly what I was saying. Who are you talking to? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like I can probably count, not even probably. I can count on 3 fingers the people that I go to when I'm really in it. You, my other brother, and Janae. That's it. And I'm talking about over mom, over dad. That's it. Because your mom and your dad, they want the best for you, right? They want the absolute best for you. They'll tell you the truth, but sometimes I feel like it's not unfiltered truth, at least for me. You know what I mean? It's going to be based on what they would do or how they would have handled it. But when you have your emergency contacts, they're gonna give you that raw, and it ain't gonna feel good all the time. Pause, but they're gonna give it to you.
Yes, Mike does. When I come to him about things, that brother he's not an advocate for me per se, like in the things that I'm comfortable with. He's an advocate for like the fullness of who I am. So if he identifies areas where I'm trying to play the victim, or if I'm selling myself short, or if I'm, giving into this emotion that's contradictory to my greatness, he just calls it out.
Man, you know what? And I can feel myself getting emotional, but I feel like brotherhood is a fucking duty. If you calling me your brother, I have a duty to stand in that gap when I feel like, hey, nah, you fucking up. You need to change that, or maybe we can think about doing it this way. Like, it's my job. So it's been plenty of times to where I've hit you up and been like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. No. Are you good though? Yeah, I'm good. But are you good? Like, it's who I am, it's who I'm always going to be. You know what I mean? And it's just one of those things where it's rare to find people that you can have in your life that even me and you, we don't talk every day. We don't go out and see each other every day, but I know, guaranteed, without a shadow of a doubt, if I called you at 1:00 in the morning and said, I need you to come over here right now, you wouldn't ask no questions. You would get in your truck and you would come over here.
Yeah.
I can't say that for everybody. People that I've known 40 years, I can't say that for.
Yeah. At what point did you know Jay was like that?
When I really started to expose, not even I started to expose, but when things really started to be exposed about myself, some things that I didn't know that I had, just skeletons and demons that had been like buried for so long behind not being honest with myself, behind the nice smile, behind the good job, behind the good dad that were been around somebody as much as we were, couldn't help but to come out, right? And they came out, and it was one of those things where it wasn't a tuck and run. You know what I mean? When on many occasions it should have been. And I told her that, like, listen, I get it if you want to. I'm not going to even be mad at you if you want to go. I understand. Like, I couldn't say that I would stay around if I was you. And it was just like, nah, because I see who you are, and I'm not saying I accept it, but I'm saying I'm willing to stay because I know that this is not really who you are.
Yeah, that's good.
So when she told me that, man, it's just like it's just like for instance, if we were to for me, I can't speak for her, but God forbid, if we were to break up today, I feel like I'd always still have a lifelong friend for the rest of my entire life.
Buddy, that's good.
Yeah, man.
Good. Pook said, you truly have to pray for God to provide the right people to confide in. Unfortunately, not all friends will be in that spot, even if you trust them.
Yeah, that's it, Pook. You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head.
What's up, Littles? Sonia said, is just one of those shining lights of a person he loves to help. That's why we love him, because it's not one-sided. He's very positive. Appreciate that, Littles. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. I know she got me beating that positivity and her social extravosity. It can be a straight. Yep, that's how you express being an extrovert. The way extravosity. Yeah, it's a word. Don't worry about it. The way I see her connect with strangers, and she definitely leaves an impact, like she left on me. All right. Well, speaking about this, man, this leads up into this next video, man. Check this out.
Can't truly say you love somebody until you can risk offending them with the truth. Your breath does stink in the morning. I don't like kissing you in the morning. Your breath stinks in the morning. Please scrape your tongue. Please. Oh, I didn't know you came with this much hair. Could you at least trim your pits? Right? Like, just tell the truth. I don't want to hurt their feelings. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Jesus came full of grace and truth, but he is the truth, right? What did he put in front of himself? Why? Because the truth without grace will break you. Grace without truth won't bless you. Too many people out here giving out grace to the point that it's just sloppy. You're just forgiven. 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 Oh, you did it again. You're just forgiven. I just don't love. No. It doesn't matter how many times. Just forget. No. You cannot keep doing this and you calling yourself my friend. Sorry. It's not happening. I can deal with you on a journey, but fool, this is now a lifestyle. Stop. Don't come over here no more. You ain't even trying. I fell again. It's been 7 months, fam. This is just who you are, dog. Just say that. Right?
That last part is it for me. Through that whole video, that last bit. Listen, this and that's I think what took for me and Janae to get here, because for the beginning of our relationship, it was I wouldn't say it was me lying to myself, but me just really maybe not even understanding that, this is the type of person I had to become over the years. Because sometimes, you just live in life, and then you wake up and you look in the mirror. It's like, damn, how did I become this guy?
Yeah.
So how did I fall so far from the guy that I always grew up wanting to be, or the type of husband, or the type of boyfriend, or the type of fiance and now I had gotten here, and then to finally be able to be honest with the person you're in a relationship, and then be able to move forward, you know what I'm saying, in that truth. It just makes, and we talk about this probably every other day, just how the honesty that we now have in our relationships, maybe even to a fault, it's just, it brings us every little thing that I come to her in honesty with, and vice versa. It just brings us that much closer. Hey man, I got this DM today. Look, I didn't have to do that. I could have went my whole life. I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. But just having that mindset of honesty and transparency in your relationship is so freeing. It's so freeing, and it makes you want to be more honest. You know what I mean? Yep. And the bond that it then starts to create is so tethered it's like nothing else, man.
You know that it's crazy when on the show. Sometimes I'll start taking notes. That's how I know I'm the one being helped with this podcast. Yeah. I'm taking notes of what's being said. Man. I want to comment on something. We've heard this before. Vicky said you can be honest and not be disrespectful. The crazy thing I learned about this from my mentor is that you can be disrespected and not feel disrespected. Somebody can be trying to disrespect you and you not feel disrespected. I think that what's actually happening from an intention to the person to you and what you actually feel has a lot to do with how you interpret these moments. I know that, there's been people who've tried to offend me, and I know that those intentions are really a distraction. And oftentimes I'm so focused on what I need to be focused on that it doesn't even hit me and it doesn't affect me that way. Like, somebody's first thing, if you want to get somebody off kilter, that's of brown complexion, say, you nigger, you know what I'm saying to you, and that's disrespectful, but you can actually still look at them and be like, you're hurting inside. I don't have time to address it, but I'm gonna keep moving with what I got to do today. I don't feel disrespected. What I do feel is sad for you. So I'm just saying as a way of saying, like, let's not just always lean on the other person and what they present to be the identifying factor of how we're going to feel. I can interpret a situation. My interpretation of a situation has more to do with how I end up feeling versus your presentation.
That's good. I also feel like this, and this just came to me as you were talking, as far as being offended and getting offended and all this other stuff. You can't get offended. You can take offense, but even that is an action you have to do. It's your choice on to get offended or not. I can't give you offense. The only thing that happens is you can take offense. Oh, I'm offended by what you said. That's how you took it. You took that.
Yeah.
All you got to do is choose not to. Especially if there's truth in it. Especially if there's truth in it. If Janae comes in to me and says, "Babe, your breath stinks," okay, I'm gonna go brush my teeth. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, that's messed up. You didn't have to say that." No,
for real.
Thank you. Don't let me go out the house. Oh, babe, your lips are ashy. Thank you. Let me put something on, and don't let me go out the house looking crazy.
But you could easily feel disrespected by that.
Easily.
Yeah. All right.
I like what Vicky said. I'm not Vicky. I'm sorry, Gigi.
Yep.
Gigi said emotional intelligence. It's key. You have to have it. You don't have to. You don't have to. You should have it. As an adult, you should have emotional intelligence.
That was good, man. I think that the more I sit on this show, the more I realize how strategic I need to be at placing specific people in my life. Because I wrote something down, and I'm thinking to myself, like, who can I rely on at 1 a.m. that I just say, yo, I need you to pull up, and they don't ask any questions. And I'm formulating a list in my head, and I'm seeing who's not on that list. And I'm like,
that's the part
what are they doing with this kind of influence on my life, and I can't rely on them in these kind of situations? I might be paying you too much.
And that's not just friends, that's family too, brother.
Yeah.
That's when it starts to get real. When it's, like, but it is what it is. I still love you.
Yeah.
I still love you, but you're not in my emergency contacts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. All right. So where do we learn how to love? Mike gave us a video. It's a minute and 22 seconds. I want to put this up. We probably end the show with this one.
She taught me what love was. My mom, who was in bad relationship, taught me what love was. My homies on the block taught me what love was. And so now I need to renew my mind and get back into the word, because God was specific with leaving us instructions on what love is. And if we do it God's way, our relationships will stand. Love is patient. So yeah, I'm dating somebody that's a little bit more immature than me, but because I'm patient, I can wait on her. Love is kind. I'm gonna always treat you well. And when I treat you well and you treat me well, we ain't got no problems. Love does not envy. Who cares who make more money in a relationship? Who cares? I'm gonna celebrate your bag, baby. Because you may be up today, and I may be down, and I may be up, and then you may be down, but it don't matter because we together. Both of them coming to one house. It does not boast. So when I do make more money than you, I ain't telling you I pay for everything. No. My wife and I have been together 8 years. And because I chose to be her man, I carry the responsibility of being her man. But I'm not finna look at her face and tell her, oh, you would have cause I do this. No, cause love don't boast. I do what I'm supposed to do cause I'm her man. And I chose her as my woman. So it's my responsibility to take care of that woman. Woo, it is not proud. I may be solo raw when I leave the house, but I'm Malcolm when I come in. I put my pride at the door. And I humble myself and serve my wife, even when I'm mad at her. My ex taught me what love was.
Nigga, every time I watch that make me smile, brother. That's good, man.
How many of us got to relearn? And I'm not going to say relearn because ours is wrong, but how many people are expecting God's covering and God's promises, but not living out God's standard of love?
Because of what we saw growing up, what we were experienced growing up. Yeah, man. It's a lot that this is so funny. It's a lot that I thought I knew about relationships and how to do relationships based on, okay, I did this in the past, not gonna do that. I did this in the past, that worked, I'm gonna do this. And try to bring that into this relationship, all of it failed. Every single thing. Not saying I have to become a different person, but I'm with a different person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like you've tried to do all this stuff yourself. When did you stop and try to do things God's way? When did you stop and try to say, hey, let's watch church together, or let's go to church, or let's read relationship goals, or let's, when did you do that in any of these other relationships? When are you going to do something different? When are you going to stop doing the same thing, expecting things to be different in these relationships? And until you ask yourself those questions, like, you're going to be going in this vicious cycle. It's going to be a different guy, and this guy's going to be great, but it's going to end the same way. And this girl, oh man, she has everything. I asked God for it. She's so perfect. I just thank God for it, but it's going to end the same way because of you, because of your mindset, because you think you have it together. You think you got the key. It was her fault that y'all broke up, not yours. You didn't do nothing. And I'm saying it because this is exactly what I said after me and my ex-wife broke up. I did everything I could do. I didn't do anything. It was her. She was the problem. Nah, come on, man. Be honest. Be honest.
That's what we do on this show.
Yep.
I know we got like 10 more minutes left, but I feel like the last 30 minutes of this show somehow has really sobered me and set me down a little bit. These last week and a half, I've been working on just holding my tongue and being more silent so that I can hear from God. And I feel like one of the moments is happening right now where I hear him speaking and I'm just like, I don't know, I just feel like being quiet.
Let's do it.
Man. This was good, man. I got some things to sit with, man. I appreciate you, Mike.
Man, listen, brother.
I think that you are as a brother, you're raising the bar in my life on who should have certain kind of access. And it's not just from a place you feel like it should be. You're showing me why that bar should be raised and that standard. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Anybody in the audience got anything they want to say before we get out of here? Yeah, me too, Vicky. That's why I love it here.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like, yeah.
Yeah, you got Amber over there raising the standard as well, man. That's just like this show, fellas. I really appreciate y'all, and I missed hearing from y'all, man. We happy that we was able to make it back tonight.
For sure. Devil tried to step in the beginning, but we put our foot on his neck.
Come on, we standing like the pastor said today. We standing. We ain't just, I'm all right. One day at a time. We standing on the word, son.
Yeah.
At the end of every episode, we like to leave y'all with a resource for mental health. If you're dealing with your own kind of crisis or something that was said on the show makes you realize you want to get some help in the area of maybe addiction or, just inability to stabilize certain emotions or just fixations in your imagination, you can call this number 988. You can go online to 988.com and chat with somebody today that can get you connected to a mental health resource. which is a suicide prevention group or a support group or a counselor or a therapist, anything that you need. You can get connected. If you know someone who's in need of this, you can actually call and see how you can approach them to give them this information, because you don't want to make the situation worse by doing it in the wrong way. If you think you need to call, you need to call. No matter how small you think it is, let them tell you. Don't just think like, no, I'll be okay. Again, that resources 988 mental health crisis hotline. Jay is advocating. We need another live show.
Agreed.
Yeah, dude, this is good. Gigi said, what's crazy? I've never dated men that can comfortably communicate their love to a friend, brother. This is so refreshing to see. Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to be a part of. You never know how much you need this type of brotherhood, and just it's so funny, even the small things, like today when me and Jay were leaving and I went in to hug you, and I started like I normally start with the hand first, and you kind of move the hand and just full. You just don't know that you need those type of things, because you're not. For me, I wasn't raised to need that from a man. You know what I mean? But when you have it, and you have that sense of brotherhood and that sense of I got you, you know what I mean? Because it's a hug. I can't get that from Janae. I can't get that type of hug from Janae. Denim can't get that type of hug from Janae. He needs that from me.
Yeah.
He needs to feel my strength and feel my arms and be able to feel that I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something about when men who have really been trying to do life right hug each other. It's like when they hug, they feel that like a battered heart can still beat, man. Almost like regardless of what you've been through, that other person that you're hugging has been through it too. But if y'all just stick together, y'all can make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like without using any words, we both know that we've been through hell, but it's worth it to keep on going and not stop, right? It's like, but you can feel all that in that hug. It's saying so much. You know what it means. It means that I get it, and that we can get through it together. Even if you ain't said it, even if you're smiling, even if you got the whole world fooled. When you hug a man that loves you, it's just a knowing that happens, but it's also a strengthening that happens. It's like, we're gonna keep pressing. It's just like you hug and you look at each other and you're like, yep. Everything that was said needed to be said in that hug, man.
Woo! Yep.
All right, man. Well, that was a nice show.
Yep. Go ahead and pray us out.
God, we just want to thank you tonight for the people who have chosen to let you love through them. We know that when we have those kind of embraces from our brother, our sister, our counterparts, that it's not us they're feeling, it's you. And it's because that person has opened themselves up to be a vessel of love. So we thank you for your ridiculous, unconditional love when we get to feel it through your people that love you and allow you. We pray, Father God, if anybody hasn't had a hug like that, Father, they get it, even if it's from a stranger. And I pray even more so, Father God, that no one who's allowed you to love like that through them starts to allow that, so that when they hug people and they're in people's presence, that they start to feel you. They get to experience a little bit more of God's love. And we thank you for this podcast and all it did tonight, for all the things that were said that were beneficial. May we not just go to sleep and forget about it. May they sit in our spirit and produce a new belief, a new meditation in our hearts and in our minds, which will produce new behavior that will help us to start planting the seeds we need to plant to reap the harvest we want to reap, to see the promises that you've established for us as we seek your face. So we thank you for helping us make it throughout this night with all the technical stuff and with the conversation, with the contribution of this audience. We thank you. Bless every household represented here with peace and prosperity and abundance. May we remember that those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. That's why we're here every Sunday, that we can make it on Maybe This Will Help, in hopes to refresh others, because we know that somewhere down the line it will refresh us in return. We thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen, good brother.
Hey man, y'all. This has been another episode of Maybe This Will Help the Podcast.
Before we go, I just want to say, and this has been on my heart for the last 30 minutes. The only way to freedom is through God. The only way to freedom is through God. That's freedom from addiction. That's freedom from messed up relationships. That's freedom from abuse. That's freedom from suicidal thoughts. That's freedom from anything negative going on in your life. The only way to freedom is through God.
Say that word, man. Say that word.
Yeah.
That's the word for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We love y'all, and hopefully God said the same. We'll see you next Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific. Invite a friend.
2 Chainz.